responsible to yourself. Right? What do you want? What is the lifestyle you want to live? As a creator, anybody in the world is going to live the life they want to live. Guess who it ought to be? A creative, right? Like you're creating everything else, right? We're creating great websites. We're creating great logos. We're creating great videos. We're creating art. And have we ever really took the time to say, what is the life that I would like to create for myself? Have you ever really thought about that? Don't talk to me. I told y'all I got to talk back to me. Have you?
Yes.
You have? Okay. All right. So there's a lot of words on that first page. That is not the point. But what I do want you to think about, when you think about freedom, there are a couple of core values that I believe are associated with you living a life of freedom. And so I do want you to take just a moment and scan these core pillars. I'm not going to read them to you, but I do want you to scan those. And I want you to take a look really quickly and see which one of those core values or those pillars do you excel in? Which of those core pillars would you say, I am absolutely crushing it in this area as it relates to freedom? Is it mindset mastery? All right, we got a response over here. Is it clarity and purpose? Is it skill building and continuous learning? I try to live there. Is it income diversification? Ooh. Is it time optimization? Is it strategic financial management, community and network building? Or is it legacy and impact? Where would you say I thought you raised your hand. You told me your answer. Yeah, you're going to talk today.
I think it's number 4 for me.
Number 4 for you? Tell me more.
Because I have like 4 or 5 businesses.
4 or 5 businesses. Yeah. So all your eggs not in one basket. Okay. Very good. Income diversification.
The other guy said, he said the girl that he knew was burning herself out.
Yeah.
I just started raising my prices and making the same thing with less people. I started doing that because it was driving me crazy.
Right? And guess who gets to decide how much you charge? Right? Now, you need to bring the value associated with that, but you get to decide what that is. Right? And if you feel like it's fair, it's the right product and the right price, and somebody says no, guess what? They're just not your client. There's nothing wrong with your product and service if you believe into it, but that's not my workshop. Who else? So somebody told me that one stream of income is one too few.
Yeah, right.
I think we are seeing the evidence of that. I mean, we've been seeing it, but more so now than ever before, right? There was this sense of security that so many folks had that they no longer have, right? And so who else? Where are you crushing it at? Which pillar are you absolutely crushing it?
Community and network building.
Community and network building. Great. Love it. Surrounding yourself with supportive community of like-minded individuals. Who else?
I would say skill building and continuous learning.
Skill building and continuous learning. Yeah. Y'all know what people pay for? Expertise. People pay for skill sets. People pay for you to go deliver a job, deliver a service, right? They want to know that you know what you're talking about. Isaac said it. This guy read a few books and now he's the expert, right? And then he went all the way to the top, right? Because he was continually learning and building a skill. All right, so for the sake of time, because the goal is to get to the formula. I want you to take a moment and be honest with yourself. We talked about that. Isaac talked about that in the other workshop. Be honest with yourself. Where would you say you are absolutely not having success? Which one have you not even thought about? Which one have you done nothing to improve or develop? Which one are you like, ugh, I didn't even know that was worth my attention? Which one? Be honest with yourself, because this is what you're going to work on in your workshop. Okay? And I want you to leave here with some value. I want you to leave here with a game plan. So you need to come to terms with what that is. Talk to us.
So community and network building.
Community and network building. I wish I had time to tell my story, but I don't. So I just got to trust that I'm credible today, okay? All right. And that whoever invited me, maybe they thought I know what I'm talking about. But community building has been the foundation. I'm here in front of you today because of community building. Like that was where I planted my flag, and I wanted to build community. I wanted to build trust. I wanted to build credibility in the market. A revenue stream was not my focus. early on, right? It was building community. It was adding value to community. It was finding problems that I could go out in the community and solve. So that community and network building has been instrumental for me. And so if that is an area where you struggle, I would like to encourage you to figure out, how do I get over that and begin to embrace that? Because how many of you have done something just absolutely incredible and significant and world-changing by yourself? Doesn't happen. Oh, maybe? I don't know. See, that's a hand.
I would say I have.
Okay.
Our personal lives are, the question is rhetorical.
Well, yeah, kind of. But I mean, if you've done it, I mean, I'd love to know how you did it.
Well, I work and live mental health recovery.
Yes.
And addiction recovery, so a lot of my only profession is behind closed doors.
Uh,
So it's kind
yeah,
of
one-on-one,
private,
yeah.
But then my own personal mental health is invisible and only makes
Yeah.
sense to me.
Yeah.
So my life transformed when I did a lot of the things on your list.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Didn't go share that with anyone until it was noticeable.
Yeah, very good, very good. Again, and in those closed sessions, I'm sure you talk about doing the work, right? Doing the work on yourself, right? And we all know that. And again, this isn't the workshop, but you guys know and understand that. So, how many of you have identified your strong suit, your strongest suit of the 8? Hands high if you've identified your strongest suit. All right, y'all still thinking about it? Okay. Who's identified where there's the most opportunity, the most growth potential? Okay, anybody else would like to share where there's the most growth potential for you? Okay, Ms. Carmen, we got one participant. I'm cash poor today. I normally start giving out money so people will talk.
Oh, well, let me talk.
All right, there we go.
Okay. I think there are really two I need to work on. One is time optimization, and the other, probably the most for me because I'm 65, is strategic financial management. It's not something I worked on. I was just paying bills for years.
Yep.
And if they do something to Social Security, I'll still have my pension.
Yeah.
But that's the icing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Very good. No, thank you for that. So when I launched my company back in 2016, it was, as I mentioned, for the sole purpose of educating, empowering, equipping entrepreneurs, right? With the mindset and the tools to succeed and grow. Well, 2 years in, I realized really quickly that, like myself, entrepreneurs had very little financial acumen, financial literacy, financial understanding, right? And I'm talking about on the personal side. And so if we're struggling with our personal finances, guess what we probably are also struggling with? Our business finances, right? How you do one thing is how you do everything. It's going to translate from your personal into your business finances. And so we started focusing on and learning and going down the path of financial education and financial literacy. And that's been a big deal, big help for me. And so is money one of those things that you're just like, I get around to it? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. When I make enough money, I focus on my money. That's not really how it works, right? Because once you get it, it's the problem solved. Okay, it's really not a money problem, right? It's number 4, not 3. It's a skill, right? Because when it comes to you, if you don't have the skill set, guess what it's going to do? Yeah, it's going to go. It's going to disappear. Read up on any lottery winners lately? Yeah? Okay. All right. So who else has come up with the one you struggle the most with? All right. And then we're going to get into some groups and do a little workshopping. Yeah.
I would say, I think I've worked on this mindset mastery like forever, and it's like a never-ending process. So it's like no matter how much you acquire the skill, building, and continue learning, you still have to develop your mindset. So I say number 1 is mindset because it's a never-ending process. Yeah,
absolutely. I don't know, Troy might not let me come back, but one of my favorite verses of scripture is to be not conformed to this world. Right? Oh, they're getting too far ahead. Hold on, I'm going to work on that part first. Be not conformed to this world, right? And we skip right over that piece. Anybody looked around at the world lately? Are they living the life and the lifestyle you desire? Are the majority of people living the life and lifestyle you desire? Do they have the results that you want in your life? Now, I ain't talking about Instagram. Now, everybody look good on Instagram. I'm talking about the 90%, like real people, real lives, right? But what do? We look and say, oh, wow, I'm do it like they doing it, right? I'm going to follow the leader. We never really take the time and say, what is the life I want to create? See, the opposite of success is really conformity. We conform to what looks good in a particular way of doing things, and we have not began the process, Ms. Jocelyn, of transformation, right? Through that renewing of our mind, right? And that renewing of our mind is a process, is my whole point, is that it is continuous learning. It does not stop. It is something that you have to embrace for the long haul. Because once you get to a certain level of your mindset, then guess what? New opportunities show up that you weren't ready for at the last stage of your mindset, right? So we do have to embrace that mindset journey. So to get y'all out here and get you to your Panera boxes, I want you to have for yourself, what is the area that you want to leave here with a plan, a formula that's going to help? Because the strength, just keep working on that, right? The thing that you got knocked out the park, don't quit. Don't throw that to the side. Double down on that, right? But the area that you're struggling, because these are core pillars to the freedom, okay? And I wish I had time to really dig into the freedom piece of that, because that's so foundational for me. Having the time to do what I want to do, when I want to do it, right? But there's a formula for that creates for you this life and lifestyle. See, as entrepreneurs, you don't get a crown at the end of this thing for how hard you worked. Like, there's no medal for how many hours you put in. I don't know anybody that was laying on their bed of affliction at 80 years old and said, man, I wish I'd upgraded my Mercedes-Benz one more time, right? I wish I had 1,000 more square foot on that's not the conversations we're having. We're saying, I wish I would have created the life where I could have spent the time with the people I wanted to spend it with, doing the things that I wanted to do, and living my life on purpose, right? Even if you build an incredible business, that's probably not what matters at the end, right? Now, maybe the lives you changed and impacted through your business, but the business isn't the goal. The goal is for you to figure out, what am I here to do? And how do I set my life up to have the time and the resources to be able to do that? Now, that's me. You may not agree, and that's fine. Okay? So, double down on the one that you're crushing. Did you have a comment? Okay, double down on the one you're crushing. And for this next, how long I got? 10 minutes? All right, I got 10 minutes. Huh? I got 20 minutes. I got 2 minutes? 20 minutes. All right, I like to be obedient. I want y'all looking at me saying he keeping me from my chips. All right, this 5-step freedom formula. I want you to begin to think about, again, where's the area that you're struggling? So I want you to partner up. I told y'all to get to know your neighbor. And if I just got a look that was like, are you really going to do that? So this is your opportunity to improve number 7. Right? Listen, God, we got to talk to each other. We gotta talk. We gotta be in relationship. We gotta be in community. I promise the person will not bite, kick, or stab you. I promise today, in this incredible room. So I want you to find a partner. Okay? Sometime today, I got 20 minutes, y'all. I want you to find a partner. Y'all just came to be talked to, talk that. Yeah. All right, and let's start on number 1. So this freedom formula is a 5-step formula that's going to help you. How many would like to reclaim your power? Right? Who would like to reclaim your power? Okay. Align your lifestyle with purpose. Okay. And then build sustainable freedom. All right, y'all stick with me a second. I just said find your partner. I ain't say get to know what they were doing tonight yet. All right, so find your partner, and I want you to start with number 1. Okay, and it's really the questions. Okay, the bullet points are the work you can do, but it's really the questions I want you to discuss. So with my time, we got 2 minutes, And I want you to talk about what is your limiting belief that you have about money or time, and how can you turn that into an empowering belief? Because if you're not, if that piece of your life isn't working, if money isn't working, if time is, how many of you wake up, both of those things, and you say, where did it all go? At the end of the month, where did the money all go? At the end of the day, where did the time all go? If you have any one of those conversations with you, I want you to talk about how to turn that limiting belief into an empowering belief. All right, we got 2 minutes. All right, now's the time to talk. Hey, Mama.
I was outside doing interviews.
Yeah, I didn't know you was out there working. I have a few of them. I'm a bad boy. I need all the mamas I can get, son. I've been adopted by a few. So
me too.
Yeah, we need it, right? Yeah, absolutely.
So what is the name of the work now? Because my day job does what my personal business wants to do. By the time I get home to my personal business, I'm drained.
Yeah.
And then, like what they were talking about earlier about being a perfectionist, trying to build Rome in one day, comparison issues. So, right now.
Find a partner or a group. No pressure. No pressure.
That would be like for
How you ladies doing? Good to see y'all. Keep going. Keep going.
I don't like to.
Brian Ray official. Keep going. Help me out with my limiting beliefs about money. Just send me some money. I don't. No. I mean, we all got some, but I'm doing all right with the beliefs.
Yeah, I have like
No, I did, but it's not working. So Elton hooked me up. Yeah. Y'all go ahead. Yes, sir. No, keep going. All right, about 30 more seconds.
right now.
15 more seconds. Can you put me a lime LaCroix in my cup? All right, let's pull it in. I hope y'all gonna take this project home. All right, let me get one representative from one group to share with me what's a limiting belief you have and how you're gonna turn that into an empowering belief. All right, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. First of all, how'd that feel? Did anybody get kicked? Bit? All right, stabbed? No, it was safe. All right. This is always the hard part. All right, let's bring it back because we got 4 more to go. Now y'all can continue these conversations over lunch, okay? Because all this is really about is just to open your thinking, to have you really start to think about and just kind of intercept some comfortability, some conformity. So let me get one group. Who wants to share a limiting belief and how you turn that into an empowering belief? One person from one group. All right, right here.
So we've all kind of talked about, I hate this. Okay, we've all talked about age.
Thank you.
They're kind of a barrier for us. We're getting older, and so we recognize that there are things that we need to push forward and do. And time doesn't look like it was what we had, 10 or 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It starts to look different when you get on the other side. I don't think that this gentleman was out there, that was Grace, but Katie and I are definitely going, okay, we got to move.
Okay, so how do you turn that into an empowering belief? So the challenge they're saying is seniority, is that they're good and seasoned, right? So how do you change that into an empowering belief? You have some time left, right?
We got time, but we also have wisdom. And I
There
think
you go.
that's the other piece that we have to recognize.
Yeah.
Kimberly was talking about hours, the time that we have, and I calculated out that just for the last 50 years since I've been working, I've got 104,000 hours in experience doing things. I never thought about that.
Yeah, you're an expert over 10 times over, right?
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Okay, so if you don't feel like time is on your side, then what's the wisdom and the skill sets that you do have? Okay, all right. For the sake of time, let's keep going. Now, this is where it gets really, really good. So the step number one is really just about, and we're building out this model currently, is about getting serious, right? Like, what is it that you really need to get serious about and begin to shape your lifestyle? Number two is about getting vision. Okay, Kim mentioned it earlier, writing the vision, making it plain. So this is kind of personal, but I also want you to talk with your group, again, getting to the questions, and ask your neighbor, like, if you could define your ideal day, what would it look like? But first of all, let me get y'all attention, because this is hard if you try to define your ideal day based on today. Right, based on yesterday. I'm not talking about how do you take yesterday and turn it into no, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about an ideal day. If you had a clean slate, what does that look like for you? Right? You wake up, go to your $300 comparison of a Keurig, right? Because the Keurig, I don't know how that sells, the way it sells. Get your cup of tea, get your Americano, right? Go out on the back porch. Get your favorite book, Bible, whatever that might be. Spend some time listening to the birds chirp. What does your ideal day look like? And let me ask one more question. Hands high if you believe you can have it. Okay, well then get to writing. What does the ideal day for you look like if you had the time and money?
My ideal day, I would not be here early over and change.
Somebody said they would not be here listening to Ryan Ray speak in my ideal day. I heard you. I wouldn't be here. I'm joking. Like, it's your day, right? It's yours. You already doing it, so no, you can't just write down what you do today on a regular basis. You already doing it. What time do you get up? Do you take a nap? What time do you go to bed? Where do you have lunch at? In Raleigh or Paris? Where do you have lunch at? Yeah, like what? Like it's your day. Jump on your jet, right? It's your day. There you go. And now let's be really good friends because I want to go with you. Your ideal day. What are you doing? Who are you with? Where are you? At Red Hat. All right, 30 seconds. $15 seconds. All right, we got a group ready. All right, let's come back. Who is going to be bold enough to tell us what you're going to be doing this time next year? I mean, I'm just, I'm trying to meet y'all in the middle. I didn't want to say tomorrow, next week. I'm gonna give you some time to put these 8 pillars to work. Talk to me. What are you doing? Is that my preacher cue? Oh, okay. All right, let me get one group. All right, right here. What are you doing? What's your ideal day? Oh, yes, you do need your box. There you go. All right, let's dial it in really quickly.
So, I think one of the core components of what I'll be doing to get to where I 3 days of trying new things. But there are different versions of the things that I already know that are steps to where I want to be. Super vague, but in context, an example, like I'm a professional, therapist, but I also can just venture into modeling to try to expand and diversify my impact.
Love it.
Like to make mental health make sense. It's embodying and modeling for other people.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Love it. Love it. Anybody got a burning day they want to share? We'll move on. Anybody? Go. There you go. Oh, okay. All right. Well, we already know it wouldn't be listening to Ryan Ray, but go ahead. Yes. What does that ideal day look like? Who are you with? Where are you at? What are you doing? What you've achieved?
Well, what I was saying earlier, that what you misinterpreted.
Yes, ma'am.
I was saying, I said I wouldn't be here. I would be in Kenya.
Okay. Okay. I don't blame
I've been
you.
there. I've done mission work. Not saying here. Like,
I got you.
But I would be in the United States. My ideal day would be helping
And
children, orphanages, and like in music,
Yeah.
in tech and engineering. Those are the type of things that I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
Those are the things that I've done when I was over there.
Mhm.
And it's a matter now of trying to get back there
Mhm.
to where I know that's where I'm supposed
Yeah.
to be.
That's great.
Like this is the launching ground where I need to start, but this is not the destination.
Yeah.
I need to be able to be where I'm supposed to be, what my purpose is, and the whole day is there.
Yeah.
And what needs to be done, is the plan of getting there to be able to execute it on a daily basis.
Yeah.
My ideal there is in Kenya.
Love it. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, that's so good. How many of you have ever just had a bit of tension around something you're doing during the day? You
mean how we're spending our time?
Like, have you ever had some tension? Like, ugh. Okay, I was waiting on it. Yeah. So I heard somebody say one time, pay attention to tension. Right? Again, whose day is it? Whose hour is it? Whose time is it? Now, I'm not saying that, nothing am I saying to go home and write up your resignation letter tonight. Okay? I do not advise, I do not counsel, I do not should on you. Okay? But what I am saying is begin to pay attention. Right? And now integrate what we're working on today to begin to see what does a transition look like. Because it's not right or wrong. Right? This isn't a right or wrong conversation. This isn't that what you're doing is wrong, it doesn't fit, you're not creative. That's not what it means. The tension is, am I really getting the results that I want? It's a results conversation. And when you look at the end of your hour, the end of your day, the end of your week, month, year, and you do the math, and the math ain't mathing, as they say, right? Now you should have a conversation with yourself. Because guess what happens? Years turn into decades. Right? And now you end up looking back, as I said earlier, and it's like, man, is that really how I spent my time? Because whose time is it? Yeah. Okay. And I said it before, as a creative, you ought to be the ones creating your life. Right? We ought to be the ones creating the life you want. All right. Building income streams, like that's pretty self-explanatory. All right. Because my time is dwindling down. Okay. But I said it earlier, one income is what? One too few. Right? Multiple, right? And as creatives, you got to figure that out, right? Now that's where maybe a coach, a mentor, you heard the representation earlier, wherever Elton might have been a little lack, Isaac covered, and wherever Isaac might have been a little lack, Elton covered it, right? So what's the right partner and collaboration? Like now I look for those. How can I get in community, in collaboration with someone who can do a job, a skill, bring a value that I can't? Right? And how together do we leverage that? Right? Maybe it's my time and their resources or vice versa. Right? But how many of you can get when you look at number 2, how many of you can get there by yourself? Probably not. If you can, it's not big enough. Right? If your vision is like, oh yeah, I can do this, then you need to revisit number 2. Okay? So that multiple income stream is pretty self-explanatory. So is the time. Right? Not easy. All right, I always love to do this exercise around time. How many of you have figured out how to manage time? Hands high. All right, I challenge that, and here's why. If you can manage time, what would you do with it? You stop it. You'd hit the pause button. You'd rewind it. If you can manage it, right? You would control it, but you can't. That's how it gets away from us, right? Because we can't control it. But what can you control and manage? Your priorities. What you do in that hour. What you do in that time block, right? What you do with your afternoons and evenings. So begin to prioritize your time, and then the things that you, as a creative, figure out what is the thing that you do that no one else can do. Okay? Maybe that's a part of this exercise. And maybe not tomorrow, but at some part, we get into number 5, that sustainable plan. Like at some point, you got to get out of the $5 an hour work. Right? You got to get out of the $10 an hour work. Right? At some point, you got to get out of the $18 an hour. Right? Somebody else can do that, give you back that hour, and now you can scale and do other things. Question, comment. Where's the box?
When you say figure out what you do better than others, because I mean, actually, most of the time it's done for me, but it's done. So what are some questions that you can ask yourself to really dig to that space and get to the bottom line of what do I do better than anyone else? Because my products are different. I mean, I have my personality, but what are some questions we can ask ourselves?
All right, write down a book, Good to Great, Jim Collins.
Okay.
He does a concept called the hedgehog concept. If I had time, I'd get into it. But he talks about what do you do that no one else does or that you do the best? What is also aligned with passion? And then that you can get paid for. And where those 3 things intersect, I forget that thing. What do you call the thing, the 3 circles that intersect? I skipped that class. A Venn diagram, there you go. But that piece in the middle where all 3 of them come together, that's it. But if you think about it and focus on though, well, what do I do? What can I do that nobody else can do? Right? See, I also as a creative, get on my box here a little bit. Like nobody really can come and steal they might can take your idea, but they can't take your vision for the idea. Right? So while we sitting around holding on stuff, thinking somebody gonna get it. Well, if you hold on to it, nobody got it. Right? So I don't have time to get into that. Who? A hell question or comment? Yes.
So something else that I kind of thought about even starting this week was just vague. So based on stepping into graphic design, so it's like I already in graphic design, but I'm still kind of pivoting like how can I make myself that different designer? What can I offer that a lot of people can't just easily say, okay, I want you to do this. I have to kind of hone into something. I did the same thing with my I have a permanent position, so I went ahead and honed into that, got good at it before it got saturated. So now I'm the authority in that, and other people are kind of like catching up. So I think one thing that I would say is kind of look at something that you can get into that's not oversaturated, where there's not many people who you can pick through, and the amount of time it's catching up with those people doing way ahead, and people are uninsured is the one that they can actually go to, and you can make money because you're just.
That's great. That's great. Thank you for that. That's awesome. I mean, let's be honest, right? There's a lot of noise out there, right? There's a lot of stuff out there. And I can imagine in the creative, like, how do I separate myself, distinguish myself from all the other noise out there? I don't have the answer to that. Sorry. But I think that coffee cup on the porch, right, where you're spending some time really connecting and dialing in and listening and connecting with your purpose and your passion, like that's what's going to bring it to market. Right, going out to Instagram and say, oh, hey, what is everybody doing? Let me try to figure out how to do something different. I don't know that works, right? But there's something inside of you that's connected that you can bring value to that will absolutely distinguish you from everything else in the marketplace. So let me wrap up with this. Step 5, and so this is a part where from a mentorship or a partner or a collaborator, number 1, to hold you accountable, but number 2, to bring those ideas to reality, right? Where are you limiting yourself in your skill set? That if I had another idea, another partner, they could help me double up, triple up, 10x what I'm thinking, right? And we got to stop this fear of, oh, they're going to take my idea. All right? And so now, closing out, come on up here, Candace. What is the action that you're going to take this week to move towards freedom? What are you going to do? Tell that to your partner. What are you going to do? You can tell me. What are you going to do this week? Okay? You're going to go back over this? Okay, now you can't just study. You got to do the work. Okay, all right. Did,
I did the work last
love
time.
it, love it. Tell your partner, what is the one thing you're going to do leaving here? Okay? That's going to put you in the direction of creating for you the life and lifestyle you desire. My information is on the last page. It has been a plum pleasing pleasure to share with y'all this afternoon. We'll hope to talk some more around lunch.
Amazing. Y'all just give it up again for Mr. Ronnie Gray.